You know what it is? It's the one and the only, the triple, the G.O.D, live on Team GRF TV. I'd like to welcome you guys back to another installment of Triple the Guy Speaks on. Yo, welcome to the newsroom, everybody. Because, yeah, I will admit, I'm mad late on everything we getting into on this newscast today. Let's just put that out there. I am aware, so you don't have to tell me. Things happen. Let's just put it that way, and let's just drop the subject right there. It's better that I get to it than never at all. How about that for some, for some push and pull? But regardless, live in the newsroom, yo, SNK. Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. Did a whole bunch of stuff at Evo, right? Whole bunch of trailers popping off. Like, we got two versions of that Oswald trailer. Is what we're going to start today. The King of Karnoffel. You know what I'm saying? I'm so gangster, I can slash you up with playing cards. Pick a card. See, I could, you know what I'm saying, make that clown reference. Royal Flush. Well, I could also make the Gambit references. Have I covered all of my card-based characters that I can think of and remember? You know, you have that super cool win pose from Rose in Street Fighter Alpha where she turns herself into a card and then reveals it and she has on that little super frilly dress or whatever. Card related activities. Let me see. I'm thinking card stuff. Yuki from Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. He had the card slash. You have to do all of them at the same time, and then him and I turn into a comic guy, and you get slid a whole bunch. You do an explosion, and then you can combo after it because it's Neo Geo Battle Coliseum, and you can combo almost anything that's a juggle. Anything else card related? No, I think that's it. I think we have covered everything card related. Now, this gonna be a little different. Is that even though I haven't watched this trailer, I know how this trailer ends. And we need to get to the end because there's probably something we could, try to dig out of that. Well, how about I quit talking about pick a card, Royal Flush, win poses, and Yuki from Neo Geo Battle Coliseum combos after that atomic finish into, whatever, because, the assaults are free. Look, how about we just activate trailer.exe, we see what's up with my dude Oswald, and there's some other information that we'll talk about after the trailer's over because I did some research. Well, not much research of remembering how much KOF 11 I played. Spoiler alert, it's a whole lot. Look, you know what? I'm stalling. I'm stalling. Just activate the trailer. Now. Thank you. SNK. Okay. That looks like Oswald. Yes, that's things Oswald does. These. Oh, what? I love the new effects. Okay, hold up. Do we have Ace though? Cause I didn't see that. Okay. Joker. Okay, what does it look like? Oh my, what the? Oh my god! Oh, that's swag. Oh, that is swag. I completely, utterly agree. Let us stop trailer.exe. Let us stop trailer.exe for just a moment because, look, number one, I want to know how Ace works in this game because for your history lesson, Ace was supposed to be some random move that happened randomly when Oswald did something, and that is how people spent their first year interacting with Oswald, the character in the King of Fighters 11. Once people figured out how Ace was and figured out how good of a character he was, he became one of the three guys of that game just because somebody put in a whole bunch of lab work to figure out how one move worked and it did devastating damage. So, thumbs up, soldier. So, but I want to put that out there. I wonder, because I think about this from the Yamazaki thing, because It is probably the easiest Yamazaki to ever play with, just because mashing buttons is easier. Because I have played games with Ryugi Yamazaki where you have to mash buttons to activate that special, and it's very hard. In the King of Fighters 14, pretty easy. So I've really got to assume, I really have to assume here that doing max damage ace isn't probably the hardest thing in the world to do, because again, reminder, in the King of Fighters 11, in order to activate ace, Oswald has to hit you with that move, and he has to travel a certain pixel distance off the screen. If he does that, the move automatically activates. And once people figured out how quick shift worked and how you could put people in that dumb position where it happens every time, that's how Oswald became one of the gods. But the thing is, at the same time, is that it's easier for him to set it up with a quick shift than it was him doing it by himself. But people who are really good with Oswald in that game know how to set up ace to do max damage every time. So I have to assume, given that the trailer didn't quite show that, I'm just going to assume that ace activates every time, no matter what it does, and it just does some damage as a finisher, versus being what the hell it was and why, when people figured it out, it became so super dumb. But then, just a reminder, because, we here, right here, live in the newsroom, also, which is the LAB, as y'all know what it is. When they did whatever they did for the PS2 version, they nerfed the damage on ace. Where you can see, from what I remember, is ace is a little easier to activate in the rebalance mode, but it just does less damage. So it's still a dangerous move. You still got to do a little bit to activate it, but it isn't as dangerous as it once was. But the thing is that when I sit up here and legitimately think about it, and we're being truthful here, is that move alone didn't make Oswald the monster that he was. It's that Oswald just had great buttons. Oswald was a great character nobody knew was great till somebody took 2 seconds to figure out why the dude was so good. Because again, I was around for this. I remember when the game first came out and streets were screaming Oswald was garbage. And I don't mean Oswald was garbage. This dude is garbaggio. There is nothing redeeming about this character in any way. And then at the end of all of it, he becomes one of the gods. But again, we've talked about this before, and we'll always have to talk about it to come back to this point. What you know on day one ain't what you know on day 101 going forward. It's like KOF 11, and we're talking about this right now because I'm on this Oswald tip, went through a lot of things. There was 2 seconds when Vanessa was believed to be the best character in the game. Then that got quickly shut down, and then the streets was K-Dash was the dude. Yo, you can't get out this infinite, quote unquote, you can't get out of this, you just dead. Then I think at that point, when K-Dash was still king, people figured out that Gato was stupid. It was at some point in there, that's when Kula got found out. And then it's after all of that stuff and bouncing and characters being sucky and characters being not, Oswald came out of all of that. But then it's then the streets finally solidified what Kula was. Gato was just stupid. And then Oswald just had some great buttons. And then you had K-Dash up there. But Vanessa then sunk down the tier list. So it's not that she isn't good. It's just that, that infinite ain't as good as it once was, simply because you need meters for that. So, it kind of downplays you as a character that, even though you are really good, all of your good stuff needs set up from either your opponent making a mistake or a quick shift at the right time to get somebody in the corner to get you hellioned all day in the corner. So there's that too. I don't believe we've talked about this for this long. But yeah, that is maybe I talked about maybe the first year and a half of KOF 11's existence. Because again, that game went through some growing pains, because all games do. What people believe to be this insane thing one moment isn't that anymore. Remember, I come from a time where the internet said for 2 seconds Guile was one of the best characters in Marvel vs. Capcom 2. People were saying it. I'm like, I don't really remember at this time, like, the reasoning why they would say Guile was that good, but the streets believe Guile was that good because, again, when you in the lab, all you can think about is what the lab work and what you come out with, and compare that with other people, and it's like, oh, well, this is this, and then somebody go back in the lab and it's this. That's what the King of Fighters 11 was for the first year and a half of its existence. Because, see, a lot of people with not a lot of knowledge about how the meta for KOF 11 came together, people sit up here and legitimately think that KGO was a thing day one, and that's not true. It took a long while for people to really figure out, because, like, again, we are talking about the character who is now in the King of Fighters 14 was the final piece of that puzzle. It took the streets damn near a year to really figure out that Oswald was this dangerous monster that people initially thought was some garbage character because they couldn't initially figure out his secrets and how the character worked. But that is what the business is. And I really feel that if we're talking about Oswald, give me a moment to talk about my favorite KOF game. Okay, fine, fair enough. Look, I stopped Trailer.exe not to talk about the King of Fighters 11, even though I could talk about that game and its history all day long, is we have a silhouette. And the streets have been hollering about what silhouettes are. I'm like, I've heard things. Like, one of the things I heard is Hydern's going to be in this game, and I'm kind of like, why? I'm not saying that I don't appreciate Hydern as a character, but there are things you could do that don't involve Hydern the character, right? Like, Hydern has been a great character when you need a fourth for your team because, again, Hydern is an amazing character, do not get me wrong, but a lot of what he meant to this series as a playable character, or in your internet words, a function, was pretty much, with Leona. There are things that Hydern does that no one else does, including, well, she does it as a super move, Hydern does it as a normal, but then he does get up and spin you around and then do nothing. But Cammy had that throw in Street Fighter 5 now, so there's that. One of these characters for sure is that character that won the design contest. But I don't know whether or not they're going to do that separately or in this, but it looks like that stuff dripping from the back of the silhouette is that, right? One of the things I'm hearing that I really appreciate is that one of the characters in this silhouette is Blue Mary. Y'all know that's my bae. Y'all know that best Bae Mary. Y'all know this. I love me some Blue Mary. It's like, it ain't even that, that I appreciate Haruka Ikazawa and all of her voice acting that makes Mary amazing. That she's just a total package of a character I just love. Great everything. Just so cute and so flirty. And it's just like, regardless of all of my fan serviceness on the issue, real about Fatal Fury, I've always enjoyed her gameplay style. Like, I really love her and dominated mine because of what the Final Impact brings to Mary the character. Like, you get a lot of that as part of Dream Cancers in King of Fighters 11 because of how Final Impacts work in that game. So in that is that if they put her in KOF 14, I'm like, yo, Mary has always been a very stupid character in a way that people who really know how to play the character really make her look very good. There are some times where she hasn't been the best, and there have been some times where she has been amazing on the tier list. It just depends on what game we're talking about and what day of the week it is. I haven't, well, actually, you know what? We are. Since I hadn't done all this talking, let me see, KOF 14. Let me start data mine. Let's see if I can bring up what the people in data mined off of this. Well, I guess I can take it to whatever this is. Okay. According to what they said back in July, was the things that they think people were coming in at the time was Oswald, Jubei, Howdern, Blue Mary, Shingo, Hanako, and Sisei, whoever that is, and with other people they haven't discovered yet. It's like, when I sit up here and think about that in general, is where would you fit all these characters on the character select screen? I'm like, I saw what they did with the videos with Oswald, where he's replaced one of the random select boxes now, because I don't know what people are going to do for random select now. I'm like, they're going to have to bring it back to like Mortal Kombat 2, just hold up and select at the top of the screen or whatever, and just hope for the best, I guess. I don't know. I'm sitting up here like, I'm like, because I'm looking at this on a website I will not name at the moment, but they got Jubei Yamada in there, and I'm kind of like, why would you want Cookie Man? I'm just wondering, like, why would you want Cookie Man? And I'm just like, let me see. I'm taking a look at this. Oswald, YMD, that's what they think Yamada is. You got Shingo, Hanako, Mayland, Catalina, Kong, Sissel. I don't know. I just really hope that we really ultimately we just get around to the things that matter. And you may be wondering, what are those things that matter? Let me think about that for a second. What are the things that matter, right? Like when you sit up here and think about the things that matter, right? You sit up here, you think about the things that matter, and it's like, I'm stalling now. You might be wondering why I'm stalling. It's because I was looking up a piece of information, because I wanted to make sure that after I do this dumb thing and say this character I want, that I need to make sure that I have the information I need. First of all, that character, you're probably wondering who it is I'm stalling for. The answer is Mei Lee Jinju. I really think that at this point, if we got two characters from Patchy Slot games you don't own anymore, angels in this game, I think we're due some Mei Lee Jinju, first of all. Second of all, I'm like, yo, if they really do her in the way, excuse me, that they've been doing characters, like, yo, we can really get some Kamen Rider-ish up in here, and I would appreciate that very much. That other thing I was saying is I was sitting up here legitimately thinking, like, wondering, like, where are they going to put all these characters? I know I just said that, but it just popped in my head, like, where would you put 11 characters on a screen that could only fit probably 6 at best, unless you finna completely, like, revamp the character select screen, or some of these characters gonna be some whole start characters or something? I don't know. I have no idea. But it should be interesting to legitimately see what it is they do. And like I said, I'm looking at this, and it's like, Howdern, that's a gimme. That's Howdern. He throwing a B Generation X. I don't know why you're doing it. I think that might be copyrighted by the WWE too. I don't know no more. But I'm assuming that it's Oswald, Howdern, Blue Mary, and whoever that Saudi lady is. I think that's your 4 characters for this pack of things. So I wonder what that also means for anybody who, bought the version that had everything that was DLC and wondering, like, how they gonna do this or whatever. Questions for another day. What I'm gonna do is, before I say anything else, we just gonna go to a commercial break. How about that? How about we just go to a commercial break? And when we come back, we gonna talk about fan service and lots of it. So y'all stay tuned. We'll turn this into a video. We will be right back after these commercial messages.